A little something like that. Snaps into the eye. Just crank it. Yeah, pretty good. What's up guys, welcome back to another video. I promised more car content and I'm here to deliver. Hello guys, Car and Kevin here. Excuse me while we just pause on my beautiful face for a second. But yeah, I mean, you would have just heard me promise more frequent videos, but I think the last video on my channel was about 4 months ago. And the video you're actually watching now, I recorded, I want to say, at the end of 2021. So I've had this footage just sitting for like 5 months or so. I don't know what is wrong with me. I've just been busy and I use that as an excuse. But I've actually got like 3 other videos backed up. I'm going to try to stick to a schedule, 1 a month, 2 a month, 1 every fortnight or something like that. But yeah, I apologize that I've been so, I guess, lazy with it. But more Evo videos to come, don't worry. And yeah, let's just get back to this video. If you've got a keen eye, you can kind of see that the garage has changed a bit. I've added some more shelving finally, and it's kind of made my life a lot easier with the kind of boxes and everything. But today, I digress. Today, probably you can see by the title of the video, we are putting a harness into the Evo finally. Basically, what I got was a genuine Takata, genuine second-hand Takata 6-point racing harness. So this is going to go a little something like that. And then I have the 2 lap belts and the 2 kind of leg belts, I guess you would call it, with the center cam lock. But anyway, that's the harness there. So it's a 3-inch shoulder belt with the 3-inch lap belt, and I think the 2-inch ones around the legs. I think today I'm just going to install the shoulder belts with the lap belts. I won't do the leg ones because to do the leg ones you got to drill through the floor and weld in your own kind of plates, which is a bit beyond what I want to go through today. Also, depending on your car configuration, if you're trying to do this yourself, you might need a couple other little accessories, but I'll show you that now when we go to the car. Alright guys, coming around to the car, just show you so far. So obviously, in order to install a racing harness of any kind, you're gonna need a bucket seat or Recaro seat, any kind of sporty racy seat that has the cutouts or the pass-throughs for your harness. Trying to install a harness on any other type of seats without the pass-throughs is, I think, a bad idea, is what everyone says. So harness will go through there. The rear of the harness, ideally you would have a kind of roll cage or a half roll cage in here, which the harness would loop onto. But without that, what a lot of people do instead is just bolt into the rear seatbelt locations. So one here, one there. That goes up to the pass-throughs and then down to the front. So that's what I'll be doing today. So attaching there for the shoulder belts, and then for the lap belts, you use the seatbelt bolt location one here, and then on the other side you literally use the seatbelt buckle location, which I'm not sure how it's gonna go. It's a bit tight there, but we'll take everything apart and then we'll see how it goes. Alright guys, so here I'm just basically putting the front belts through the shoulder loops. there were little buckles on the belts first, which it wouldn't go through the pass-throughs. So remove the buckle first, just loop the belt through. Pretty self-explanatory. Okay, to remove the rear seat belt in the Evo, there's two little tabs underneath the two seating positions here. So you kind of pull on the tab and you pull the seat up, and it just comes right out. The other side, pull, and then watch your seat belts. You have to kind of pull them out of the way a bit. I think I'm just going to take this whole thing out for now. Alright, so the way I want to do this is, obviously these will come back here and attach to this point, and this one will come back here and attach to, there's a bolt right there. But the way I want to do this is I want to have the belts attached, but then I also want to be able to put the rear seat back in and run the belt at the same time. So I kind of want to have my cake and eat it as well, which, like, if you're running a half cage, I know there are some that you can have the rear seat in, but a lot of them you can't have your rear seat. So being a little greedy here, I want to have the harness with the rear seat in. So I'll see if I can do that. But in order to attach this to the rear seat belt point, you need a couple of accessories which I mentioned before, and I'll get those now and show you those now. Alright guys, so I'm just showing you now. So this is one of the lap belts. I think this is the, this is, I think, the left lap belt. And so the way the lap belt attaches to the car is it has this little snap fastener on the end of it. So what this snap fastener is meant to do is, if you have one of these, an eye bolt in your car somewhere, this snap fastener snaps into the eye, this bolts into the car, and that's how you attach that part of the harness to the car. But if you can see, the shoulder belts don't have snap fasteners. What these shoulder belts came with are these two little plates. So obviously this is meant for, a lot of the time if you're running a harness, you have a roll cage, and in the roll cage there will be little provisions for this to loop through and attach. I can't remember what these are called, but you know, like a backpack sort of thing. So in the absence of snap hooks, what you can do is order your own snap hooks. So what I managed to find is some 2-inch snap hooks from a local place here in Sydney. So what I'm going to do is attach the snap hooks here, and then after that, what I have also is, which is critical to installing this, is the eye bolts. So we have 4 eye bolts in total. So 2 for the lap belts, 2 for the shoulder belts. The size of the eye bolts you need is surprisingly 7/16 imperial. So 7/16 of an inch for some reason. Like in a Japanese car where everything's metric, the seatbelt bolts are all 7/16. So we'll be replacing, if I can show you, this bolt here, and all the way under here, this bolt here, that one. So that one and that one with the long 7/16. So there's 2 different sizes. There's a, I can't remember. I think this is 30 mil, and this one must be 20 mil, it looks like. But yeah, the long ones go into the rear spots, and then these 2 smaller ones, I'll show you. Well, I've already showed you actually. This one will go to the main seatbelt, replace that bolt, and the other one will replace the literal seatbelt buckle bolt in the front. So I'll unbolt all these, get that in, and then I'll attach the snap hooks to the shoulder straps, and then we'll see how we go. Alright guys, so now it's pretty much the process of attaching the snap hooks to the 2 shoulder belts. Now, I already showed you what you need, the snap hooks. You're going to be using the original buckles as well. Now initially, if you remember, the shoulder belts are 3-inch and the snap hooks I got actually 2-inch, and I thought this was an issue at first, but after looking at the actual factory lap belts that come with the Takata harness, those have the snap hooks already attached from the factory and sewn on. That the lap belts, if you recall, are also 3-inch, just like the shoulder belts, but the snap hook they use is also a 2-inch snap hook. So what they actually do is like they fold in the size of the 3-inch lap belt, you can see there, and just feed it through the 2-inch snap hook. Now the snap hooks I found locally at kind of a race and track store in Sydney here. They're actually pretty awesome. They're a cool find because just like the original snap hooks you can see in the lap belt there in the video on the floor of the car, the ones I found are 2-inch, but they have the ends of them dipped in this like black plastic, so it looks pretty much or almost identical to the ones that came with the harness from factory. So I was super stoked about finding those. And then here's the process of me just trying to figure out how to feed it through nicely and properly. So I remember I was like watching this 5 months back. I remember I watched many YouTube videos, Googled a lot, but I just wanted to do it properly and get it looking nice, like it almost came from factory. So as you can see there, how I pinched the 3-inch belt through the 2-inch snap hook, and just trying to feed it through now. And now just fast forwarding, I've got the right side done. Now I'm showing you just the left side. So basically what you do is you get your buckle, you feed the belt through like shown, you go from underneath, go through the middle, and then back under, so it looks something like that. And then so now you take your snap hook, you kind of orient it how you want. I can't remember how I did it, if I wanted it to be like opposing or something here. Can't remember what I was thinking. But basically you take this, now you fold the belt through, fold it something like that so it can fit through and feed it through the top like that, and then kind of massage it through so it looks nice and pretty. And then the end result should be something along the lines of this, is where it should be at. And then so after this, I think I read somewhere that the amount of slack that you want in this, the tail portion, is at least 4 inches of slack. Because anything less than that, I think it's a bit sketchy in terms of it coming loose from the buckle. So I'm just measuring here, basically trying to get 4 inches of slack. Because what I actually realized with this belt is the shoulders, I don't know what car it was meant for, because obviously I bought it second hand, but the shoulder belts are like on the cusp. Like they literally just fit into the buckle. They're pretty short. So I needed all the length I could get out of this shoulder belt, like without using a harness bar or a half cage, which would obviously bring the mounting point a lot closer to the back of the seat. So I needed like literally all the length I could get from the shoulder belt. So I was doing the minimum amount of slack I could possible, right? So measured 4 inches, you flatten everything out. On this buckle section, I'm moving it as close to the snap hook as possible. And then basically what you do is you loosen up the shoulder belt, and then you can kind of see where it's going with this. You feed the tail end through the buckle, and then you loop it back through over the top. So basically once you pull it tight, it locks down onto the tail, and then it all like holds itself tight. So basically once you pull this through, get that through nice like that, and then you just pull it all tight, and then it's basically locking down on itself, and then pretty much there's no way that's coming out. So that's why you want at least 4 inches of slack on the tail end. But yeah, all nice and pretty, super secure like that. It's not moving anywhere. And then this is comparing to the factory one on the lap belt that's stitched on. So you see the left one, the snap hook with the plastic dipped black thing, like it looks almost like from factory. So that's why I was super stoked with this. The snap hook looks almost like the one from Takata as well. Super happy. So that's that. And then comparing, I've got both sides done now. Looks super neat, just like factory. Super happy with this. Looks great. And then so the next step is just getting the eye bolts in, which I'm going to show you now, and then snapping it all up. Okay, so undo this bolt holding in the rear middle seat belt. I forgot what size it was. This is the worst tutorial ever. But I think it's a 17mm. But you undo that. There's a little locking kind of washer here. So you can use a screwdriver to kind of pry it up. Once you get a grip, just spin it off. Then you can take the actual bolt out. There is a crush washer on the bolt, and just leave the kind of seatbelt together how it is, just to avoid confusion. So putting the crush washer onto the eye bolt, seatbelts back on the way they came off, and then spinning on this little locking washer like that, and it's ready to all go back on. So pretty simple, you just install it the way it came back. Make sure you adjust the middle seatbelt, the brackets, just like move them so they both point upwards. They fit nicely in this little indent like that. Yeah, and then tighten it up. So at this point, tighten up, what you do to actually tighten eye bolts is you literally just get a long screwdriver and just crank it. Yeah, I wish there was like an actual tool for doing this, but yeah, everything online seems like to tighten down these eye bolts, you just crank that with a screwdriver. But now testing the snap hooks, it goes on fine. But then, like, if I want to keep the rear seat, I want the snap hook coming out kind of vertically, not horizontally like that. So I need the eye bolt actually to be installed horizontally. So when I attach the snap hook, it comes out up and downwards, so it can come out of the rear seat slit like nicely. So that's what I did here, just tighten it up a bit more so it snap hooks horizontally. And now when I snap in the harness, it comes out up and down vertically, and it'll come out with the seatbelts like nice like that, up and down. So it's pretty secure, and that's the middle one done. It's basically it. Not that hard, and then it's basically just the same thing on the other side for the right harness strap. So just getting the seatbelt out of the way, undoing this bolt. I can't remember what size it was. 17, I want to say. This one looks like a 14 maybe. Basically, just comparing the size of the threads after the washer. On the eye bolt, the 30mm, it is a bit longer. On the 25mm, I think, this was 20mm actually. There you go, I actually measured it, 20mm. And this one was 30, so 20 and 30. So the 30 one looks a bit too long with even with the washer, the factory washer, but what did I end up going with here? It's been so long. Oh yeah, this one, the bolt and washer, like the washer doesn't actually come off that bolt, I think. So I think I ended up having to use my own crush washer. Let me fast forward here. And yeah, if I remember correctly, that washer didn't come off that bolt. So I used my own washer, installed this eye bolt here, just screwed it in. And opposite to the middle seatbelt here, the side seatbelt, since there's no slit for the actual seatbelt to come out of, on this one, you actually want the snap hook to come out horizontally, sideways, so it can come out, yeah, like that. So your eye bolt, you want it to be tightened where it's vertical, up and down, so your snap hook can come out, or your harness can come out flat like that. It can fit in between the two seats. Pretty self-explanatory, but just those little things that makes it a bit easier. So it'll come out like that, nice sandwich between the two seats. So that's basically it, you know. You put the rear seat back in, and then you snap in the two shoulder belts. That's it for the shoulder belts, and then we got to go through the lap belts. So let me fast forward this until we get to that point. Yeah, so here we're just putting the rear seat back in, and then I think this is the point where I realized I needed all the length I could get out of these shoulder belts. So yeah, you can see the middle one, how I wanted to exit up and down like that so it can go through that little slit. And then on the right harness strap, I want to come out flat like that so I can go through that sandwich in between two seats like that. So you can see my thinking. That's basically why you want to have the eye bolts tightened in the orientation that they are. And then a little mucking around later. Rear seats in. The shoulder straps are all nice and pretty. And I get to have the shoulder harness with the rear seat in. Alright guys, we're done back here. The lap belts are in, rear seats back in, so they're securely mounted to these two anchor points I showed you, snap hooks. So that's the shoulder belts. We'll do the lap belts now, and then I might, because it's a 6-point, I might just run as a 4-point for now, or if I can be bothered, put the extra 2 in. But let's go to the front. and we will put the lap belts in. Okay, so shoulder belts look pretty good, feel pretty good. Now it's for the lap belt. So for the right side lap belt, this one has the cam lock buckle permanently attached. This one with the snap hook ready, this one will go into this bolt here, so we replace this one with a eye bolt. And then for the left side lap belt, this snap hook, literally the seatbelt buckle bolts right there, we're going to replace that with an eye bolt, and this one literally will snap into that one. So I think in order to get to that, we're going to have to remove the center console. Not too bad, but I think I'll do the other side first, and let's get this done. Okay, so here we are removing the bottom seatbelt bolt. It's got a bunch of washers on there. Make sure you remember which way they're going, and just comparing the size. So if you remember, we had two 30mm and two 20mm eye bolts. Now I thought the 30mm was just go on both the rears, but looking at this now, remembering back, it was the 30mm that goes in the center seatbelt and the 30mm that goes on this main driver side seatbelt bolt, and the two others were the 20mm. So this is 30 here and 30 in the middle one. So just to get all the lengths correct with all the washers and everything. So this one with all the washers, 30mm is the correct length. Tightening this up. This one's probably the easiest one. And then snap hook in, and then just trying to orient it correctly with how you want your snap hook to attach and come out. I think how I wanted it was the eye belt being vertical, so allowing the snap hook to come out like that. This one didn't really matter that much. It was more the rear seats that you're more fussy about. But this one you can kind of have it any way you want. And yeah, just literally cranking it with screwdriver. I wish, like, it looks so weird to me, but I wish there was a better way of doing it, but I guess yeah, that's the tool. So yeah, tightening it up, snapping it on, and then that's literally that side done. Alright guys, so we've got the driver side lap belt in, we've just got the passenger side now. So there's the bolt, it is very, very tight there. So if we put this eye bolt down into there, I'm pretty sure it's going to be just rubbing all day on this centerpiece if we like adjust the seat back and forward, but it is what it is. We'll see how it goes. I'll put it in there, see if it actually does rub, but from here it looks like it will just slightly rub. Okay, in order to get to that, we'll need to take this middle piece out. So what you do, open this up, 2 screws in there, and then this thing literally just like pops up. So we'll do that and then get to that bolt. Okay, boom, bit of a clearer view. This is literally the bolt that holds the seatbelt buckle on. So undoing this, eye bolt, bang, center console back in, and passenger lap belt snapped in. So yeah, removing the original bolt. Make sure to reuse all the original washers, you know. Again, this is the 20mm eye bolt that's needed for this side. Putting all the original washers, lock washers back on, and then just putting the buckle back on. And yeah, this one, you kind of want to have the eye bolt situated like up and down vertically, because in my mind you want the snap hook of the harness to just attach as high as possible and like not be sideways, because there's not much clearance there. Alright guys, eye bolt is in, passenger belt snapped in, beautiful, like that. And so we can finally actually test this thing for real, and do this up properly. Alright guys, just put everything back together, and it's actually not too bad. The clearance is actually pretty good. I don't know if you can see how well you can see, but it's actually, I think it just doesn't touch. This is horrible, you can't see a thing, can you? It just doesn't touch, so it's actually pretty good. Yeah, I think it's time we test it out, and then we figure out if we even do the additional 2. But I think there's not much point, because this seat doesn't have the cutout here for the additional two, I don't know, call them leg belts to come through. So if you put them in, it's going to be pulling up on here. I don't think it's going to be a good idea. So we'll just run the 4 for now. So it's a 6-point harness, but we're using it as a 4-point harness. We'll use that for now, and then we'll see how we go. Alright guys, yeah, we're all done here. Yep, shoulder belts are in, waist belts are in. I kind of mocked up the, I don't know what you call this, the leg belts. I'm not really sure where to mount them. I mean, obviously, maybe I could get 2 eyes for the, what do you call it, the seat mounting bolt here. If I just get an eye there, and that one, and that one. And then maybe I can run the full-on 6-point with the crotch. I think that's what it's called, the crotch belt. I always thought the crotch belt didn't make sense though if you didn't have the bucket seat with the split so these two could go into, but I don't know, maybe it'll work. Maybe I'll try eyes there, but I think I'll just run as the 4-point for now. But yeah, pretty good. Cam, lock, everything undone in one hit. But yeah, I don't know, it looks great to me. And here the rear, it's all done with the belts coming out, and I can still have the rear seat. So I managed to do that at least. But yeah, that's pretty much it guys. The harness is in now. I guess I should have spoke about this in the beginning of the video, but like, why did I put the harness in? Well, for one, it looks mad. It looks sick, and it's super nostalgic for at least me back then, watching, you know, Fast and Furious, playing Need for Speed. Especially this harness, the classic JDM Takata green racing harness. You know, it's so nostalgic. It brings back so many memories. Something that I always wanted to do, and now I can finally say that I've done it. And I think primarily the more important reason is that I am going to be doing some more track events. Well, I hope to be doing some more track events, and this hopefully not just for safety, but enable to go faster. You know, holding me into this seat more so I can just focus more on the driving as opposed to just the stock seatbelt. You go to the track, you know, heaps of people will tell you one of the first things to do, mods, brakes and tires, and then get a harness, because it'll make a huge difference. Maybe up to half a second off, depending on how good or bad you are at driving, but I'm hoping it'll shave a couple tenths off for me. But yeah, thanks for watching guys, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. I'll be back soon with some more videos, hopefully looking to be more consistent this year, but yeah, thanks.